After you've gone and left me crying, after you've gone, there's no denying. You seem blue, you feel sad, Mr. Never. There'll come a time, now don't forget it, baby. There'll come a time when you regret it. Someday, when you grow lonely, your heart will break like mine. You want me only after you've gone. Oh, there's
Gentlemen, Gallagher's has a little surprise for you tonight. A new young talent, Miss Victoria Hoffman. Come on, everybody. Let's give the little girl a great big welcome.
Darren, how's it going?
How's it going?
So far, so good. Hanging in there. I had the day off today. I'm excited to be able to spend it doing something productive.
Oh, cool. Well, you're 3 minutes out. They can probably hear us over the music. So, hey, I'm making announcements online right now.
If I gave you the moon, you'd grow tired of it soon. You're like a baby. You want what you want when you want it. But after you are presented with what you want, you're discontented. You're always wishing and wanting for something. When you get what you want, you don't want what you get. And though I sit upon your knee, you grow tired of me. 'Cause after you get what you want, you don't want what you wanted at all. Changeable, you've got a changeable nature. Always, always changing your mind. There's a longing in your eye, hard to satisfy. And here's the reason why. 'Cause after you get what you want, you don't want it. If I gave you the moon, you tired of it soon. You're like a baby. You want what you want when you want it. But after you are presented with what you want, you're discontented. You're always wishing and wanting for something. When you get what you want, you don't want what you get. And though I sit upon your knee, you'll grow tired of me. 'Cause after you get what you want, you don't want what you wanted at all. Baby, I don't mean to make you blue, but you need a talking to. 'Cause after you get what you want, you don't want what you wanted at all. I know you.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the. Oh, heck. I got the wrong frame up. Hang on. There we go. That's right. Welcome to Talk the Plank, the official U.S. Pirate Party podcast. I am your host here, Darren McKeeman, the quartermaster of the U.S. Pirates, and joining us, we've got Jolly Mitch from
Yes, ahoy.
Chicago.
My name is Jolly Mitch DeVillo of the Chicagoland Nye, the Illinois Pirate Party.
Illinois Pirate Party.
I am a former swarm care manager of the United States Pirate Party twice over. I am the captain of the Illinois Pirate Party and the captain of the regional Chicagoland Pirate Party. And most of all, I'm a friend of the show, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad to have you here because otherwise I'd be alone today. Last week, and this, you brought up something that I wanted to touch on, swarm care. Ever since I got into the Pirate Party, I've started reading a lot about of Rick Falkvinge's books. And one thing that I got enamored with was his Pirate Wheel. And last week we wanted to talk about it, but we got so caught up in talking to Mike Stabile that we didn't even get a chance to talk about the Pirate Wheel. So I thought that we would take this show and dedicate it completely to the Pirate Wheel. And one of those, first I should explain a little bit. The Pirate Wheel is a framework that Rick Falkvinge has developed from talking to other pirates as a critical lens through which to view legislation, whether it works or whether it doesn't work. It all stems from basically the theory that everyone, via their vote, is an empowered person. And empowerment of the individual is the core of the Pirate Party. And so from there it goes out to several different spokes, and one of those spokes is Swarm. And could you talk to us a little bit about your job as the Swarm Care Manager? Because I've been really interested in that title because I have no idea what it means.
Well, absolutely. Well, when I took over as Swarm Care Manager of the United States Pirate Party, that was 2021, I believe, was the first year I took over. And in that role prior, I don't believe anyone actually held the title. So I was the first one since I've been here that got to call themselves Swarm Care Manager. So given that the role was kind of just defined as, manage the swarm, you really don't know what that entails. So I was kind of given the task of defining what the Swarm Care Manager does in this position. So what I would end up doing was using the model that Falkvinge put out. You had this idea that people want to do things for the party, and you have no idea how many people want to do things for free. And that's something he says that people might get a little like iffy about. What it means is you don't realize how many people are motivated to do things without being paid for it. People want to help. People want to do things. People want to make a difference. Yes. And one thing I noticed with the United States Pirate Party especially is that we are comprised of many people who see differences in their localities that want to make a difference and realize we're all trying to make a difference locally, which becomes national. And I think that's a very important thing. So when you're talking about the swarm, I think one of the key factors of the swarm is us trying to get together for that common goal, even if the common goal is I want where I live to be as best as it can. Even if that means something different for a California pirate or a Chicagoland pirate or a Massachusetts pirate, it still means we want, to improve and we want to get better. So working in the swarm, my job would be to reach out to certain people. I had the pleasure of reaching out to anyone who had previously started a Facebook page, for example. If they went as far as creating a Pirate Party of Kansas Facebook page, I went out of my way to reach out and say, hey, are you still interested in involving yourself with the party? I know you went as far as creating a page. Are you interested in getting involved again? And a lot of times I had a lot of success rate. I got a lot of old pirates back into the groove who may have stepped out for one reason or another, who said, oh, I see that, we're up and running again. There's something happening. And a lot of times I think my job became, let's make sure people know the swarm is active and going.
Yes.
Which wasn't always the easiest thing, but it was definitely one of the most rewarding things I've done for this party, was just trying to connect people to the party. And it's something that even not holding the title of Swarm Care Manager, I still like to try to make those connections for the party and try to make sure that we're building that, building the swarm.
Cool. So I've got a little diagram up here. I've got the Falkvinge's diagram up here in one of my scenes. And I don't know, the people that are watching this on YouTube can see my little cutscenes here. I've got some pirate map cutscenes and stuff that I've learned how to do. So I've got this PDF of the Pirate Wheel. It's on the YouTube right now. You can see that the base hub of empowerment is over on the far left, and it's broken up into 8 different spokes that comprise the Pirate Wheel. The first one being privacy. These are all things that people want out of their government. Privacy is a primary one, and that privacy is broken down into several different silos. Transparency is something people want from their government. People want to see what their government's doing. TICS is an acronym that stands for.
That says tools, ideas, culture, knowledge, and sentiments.
Yeah, thank you. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read it very well. And yeah, that's basically like, patents. We're very dim on the idea of patents. Patents need a lot of reform. So does copyright. We're all about the right to repair. That comes under TICS. Things like that. Government should not restrain anything that is basically a creative endeavor by human beings. The next box we have here is humanism. Everybody, wants to be a human. The next box is diversity. And whereas a lot of people might think that this is like some sort of DEI thing, it's not just, we want to see other people's colors. We want diversity of thought too. You don't get a lot of diversity when you've got a lot of old white men running everything. Diversity of thought is not there, so they can't comprehend how other people would see things. We need that sort of diversity of thought in government. Uh, we need the next box is resilience. We need our government to be resilient. Uh, I mean, it seems kind of resilient, but not really. And I haven't really felt that it's been resilient in a while. That's something we need to build back into the government. And then the swarm economy, which swarm is something that we just mentioned, figuring out, where you can help, whether it pays or not, and how to make volunteer work as gratifying as paid work. That's a goal of the Pirate Party. And then finally, the last box is just quality legislation. Is this legislation worthy of being, on the books? And if you look at the conclusions and policies that follow all of those colored boxes, every single one of those is related to one of those spokes in one or more ways. And that is the basis of the pirate wheel. That is how to look at legislation and activism and see what you're doing and see how it will make a difference. Let's get back to our talking heads. Oh. You're in the dark there, Mitch.
Sorry about that. I had the pirate wheel saved to my phone as well, so I was pulling it up and looking at it as you were talking about
yes.
But like you're saying, you notice that the pirate wheel, every section has an arrow pointing to a different reason why it's important or a reason why it connects, and they all connect to one another. You don't have a single thing that only connects to one thing. Everything that we list is listed for a reason. This is a very thought out, very well organized wheel, I suppose, even if it's not necessarily a perfect wheel, so to speak. Granted, I've seen images where they made it into a wheel. It looks very nice, but this is a very important tool for any pirate or anyone looking to get involved in the pirate party movement.
Exactly. I mean, it's when I saw it, it actually helped me gel a lot of my own philosophy, and it was a while ago when I saw it, but I've just been getting back into it. So what is your favorite part of the pirate wheel?
I think my favorite part of the pirate wheel is the diversity, and you mentioned it with diversity of thought, and it is such a huge thing. But it kind of stems into my favorite thing about the United States Pirate Party is that we are not a America party, so to speak. We are the United States Party. People say America first. I always believed that we were a party that said United States first. We cared about the union and recognizing that, someone from California and someone from Massachusetts aren't the same two people. However, we still want the best, and we still want better for our communities, and we still want, transparency from our government, and we still want, there's many things we want where even though they may not align identically, they're not supposed to. Everyone's situation is different. The more local you get with your pirate party, the more specialized and localized the pirate party gets. And I think that's a very special thing with this party. Mm-hmm. I think that's a very special thing with the pirate movement in general. Mm-hmm. I think the fact that you can have, and I actually believe that is why you see the most success for pirates at the local level, because that is when the pirate becomes most affable, I guess, to the voter, when the issues that are being talked about aren't these blanket statement national issues. Mm-hmm. It's, that's relevant to my community. That's something that actually is important to me. You're talking about things that I care about. Pirates are your neighbors. At the end of the day, we are all neighbors, and we're all pirates, and we're all on the ship together, and we're trying to make it run. So I think that diversity is absolutely the thing about this party that I guess really warms my cold heart.
Yes. Well, as I've seen it explained, the pirate party is what they call a syncretic party, which basically means that we don't believe in left or right. We believe in what works. And on a level, like you said, on the local level, it adapts to the community values more than the left or right politics of the Democrats or the Republicans. It will, the Pirate Party will adapt because it is ultimately a democratic movement based in one pirate, one vote.
100%. And I think the distribution of justice is going to be absolutely shown if the pirates can be can take power locally, and distribution of justice, of course, not being the literal distribution, but so much the figurative, I suppose, in this sense. We do believe that justice for all, we'll say.
And that's, I mean, it's just a matter of getting the critical mass together, and then everything kind of falls into place after that. That's what the swarm is. So
absolutely.
So let's see some of these other. Hang on, let me. Sorry about that. So let's talk a little bit about privacy. I'm a very private person, and there's a lot of things that folks don't really realize. For example, Roe v. Wade was not actually about abortion. Roe v. Wade was actually about hospital privacy. It was actually about, like, not having everybody butt into what's going on in your own medical thing. And privacy of body is the first the first silo of the privacy spoke on the wheel. Having the right to images, your own image, your own body, privacy of your medical records, all that stuff. Everybody wants that. I mean, you can't find somebody that's like, I don't want any of that stuff. You can't find somebody that says that. Everybody wants privacy of correspondence. You don't want what you say to other people to be out in the world if you don't want it to be. That goes hand in hand with privacy of data, just because, it's, pretty much you're going to be emailing somebody probably. Privacy of economy. You don't want people knowing what your budgets are, what your monetary situation is. Everybody wants privacy of identity. You don't want to be doxxed. You don't want, and location. You don't want anybody to know, or you don't want to be doxxed. So the whole privacy, the only exception to all this privacy is when they can only be, the exact statement is, these privacies may only be violated by dedicated authorities on concrete, prior, and individual suspicion of a specific committed and serious crime. So let's see what this means. Okay, dedicated authorities means only law enforcement may break for privacy, and I'm even kind of on the fence about that one myself. Concrete suspicion. If privacy is to be violated, it must be because of a formal concrete suspicion. No accusations, no, he said, she said. Prior suspicion, specific crimes, you have to have, a warrant, all that sort of thing. And this is all stuff that we want, or we think we have from our government right now. It's probably not going to be all that strong after January 20th with all the stuff that's happening right now. So we'll probably revisit all this privacy stuff. What I'd actually like to do is revisit each of the spokes of the wheel in a different episode, because often we only have like 15 minutes to talk to guests on here. So I've been trying to like dedicate the first 15 minutes to a pirate topic, uh, but we'll see how that works out. We're still getting the format of this all down. Uh, so,
Well, absolutely. I think if we come back and revisit each spoke individually,
mhm.
A, great content for episodes. B, I think it's important to be able to break down everything and just make sure that people really know what we're about and what we're pushing and what we want and what we strive for. So I think that there's no harm in just continuing that conversation in the different spokes. And just on the topic of privacy, I want to say that there's no contradiction and there's no paradox in demanding personal privacy but government transparency. There's nothing hypocritical about it. There's nothing wrong with it. It is should be the law of the land. The government, who is run off your tax dollar, should not be keeping secrets from you. The government, who you elect the officials for, should not be keeping secrets for you. We demand that they stay out of your business, but you have every right to theirs. And that is because they work for you. The boss should know what's happening at the company they run. And at the end of the day, it's our money, it's our investment. They shouldn't be working against us. They should be working for us. And again, this is not Pirate Party platform, and they would kill me if I tried to imply it was.
Yeah, yeah.
However, this is a good time for me to say that there's one taxation I believe that is not mass surveillance. Taxation is mass surveillance, and there's one form I believe that it isn't, and that is a land value tax. Because taxing the value of land does not need to have much more information of how much land do you own? Okay, here, pay that much. But we'll get into that in a different day. I don't want to get onto a high horse and start talking about land value tax on a Fire Wheel episode.
I've got some views myself that do not adhere to Pirate Party standards. I can tell you that much for sure.
And you know what? That's I think that's the beautiful thing about the Pirate Party.
It's the great thing about it, yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna say it right now. If you agree with 100% of anything we say, check yourself into a psychiatrist. And if you agree with 70% of what we say, then you're a pirate.
Yeah, yeah. I had to wear my pirate hat today, mostly because it's incredibly wet out here. Once again, I am coming to you. You're coming from a dark room in Chicago.
Yes. Apologize. I don't have a ceiling light in my room, the room that I'm in.
But
however, it actually, believe it or not, it snowed here yesterday.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
it warmed up, and all the snow is gone. And the amount of snow we had versus the amount of snow we don't have right now, I really, had I known, I would have taken photos of before and after, because you couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Well, I'm here in the marina office of Pier 39 here in San Francisco, and it is raining to beat the band outside right now. We are under a flash flood warning. Lots of San Francisco is flooded. We've been warned to stay indoors, but nobody pays attention to anything the authorities say here. So yeah, and hopefully the city will smell better after everything's washed into the sewer. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. So we've got about 7 more minutes to fill here. I don't know if you've got any topics that are dear to your heart with the Pirate Wheel.
Let me see if there's anything I could specifically speak on. Looking at privacy, transparency, ticks, humanism, diversity, resilience, swarm economy, and quality legislation. You know what? I think one of the things I want to speak on, just because it was my area of expertise, let me speak on swarm economy one more time.
Yeah. Okay.
And that is just to say that volunteer work, anyone who thinks that expecting or hoping that people will see us and be like, oh yeah, I'll dedicate my time for free to that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course it seems like, oh, I don't want to pay people. But at the end of the day, people want things to do. People want to do something to help. I've never received a cent for my time being here. oh my God, I couldn't be paid enough to make this time worth it. But let me tell you,
Yeah,
it is absolutely something rewarding to be a part of building a movement. And that is and I know it's going to sound like I'm hamming it up or whatever, but it's a priceless thing to be able to say I helped build something that can change, the way things are.
hmm
And to be able to provide that for people, and to be able to build something that is now greater than yourself,
hmm
that if you walk away from it, it'll still continue, it'll still grow. And many people have walked away from the Pirate Party and it still continues. Many people have come in and out, but the swarm continues to grow. And I think that's a beautiful thing. The Pirate Party, we are a very unusual group. The fact that we're not a joke party, but we still have fun, and we somehow can balance that.
hmm
And people know this isn't supposed to be a satire party,
hmm
but people know that you can only be as serious as the name Pirate Party allows you to be.
Yes.
But you know something? I think life is absurd, and I think life is silly, and I think life is funny, and I think that there's no party that better represents that than us. So if you believe in personal privacy, and you believe the government shouldn't keep secrets from you, and you want to make your community better, and you don't think looking at it from a nationwide scale is the best way, you think I need to look at my community and change my community to make it better, then you might just be a pirate.
I completely concur with that. I have found that uh, the volunteer work that I do for the Pirate Party, along with volunteer work for other things, rewards me in ways that I did not really expect. And that's something that I'm not a spring chicken. I've only found this out later in life. I urge everybody who's younger to discover the joys of volunteering for something early in life, in your 20s, even in your teens. Uh, it will help you throughout life. It'll help you network. It will help you in many ways you don't expect. Uh, a good example of that with my own thing is that I actually, along with this, I volunteer at a museum ship. It's one of the last Liberty ships in the world that was in World War II. And because I volunteer for that, I'm getting all sorts of opportunities. Uh, they discovered I was doing this podcast, and they called me in and said, "Hey, we've got all this podcasting equipment. Can you tell us what this is?" And it turns out that they've got enough for a whole podcasting studio there. So now I get to learn how to set up a podcasting studio, even though all I've been doing is like sitting in, with a laptop in the marina office here, figuring out how to use OBS. So it's turning into a huge learning experience on both fronts. And none of this is anything that I'm getting paid for. The stuff I'm getting paid for, it doesn't really matter as much to me anymore for some reason. I'm just doing it so I can pay my rent.
Absolutely. I mean, folks, I hate to sound philosophical as we approach the end of this, but you should remember you were born to die. Live your life and have a little fun out here. We all have one destination at the end of the day, so you may as well do something that matters and something that's important to you and something that just is fun. Have a little fun out here. And when we look at the country and the state of the world, and mind you, we just recently for Talk Like a Pirate Day, we had Pan American pirates. So we had Bailey from Canada, and we had a pirate from Brazil come on. And many of the divisions that we find here can also be found in Canada and Brazil, almost identical to a T.
Mm-hmm.
So even though we're divided, we can certainly overcome. And together, I think anyone willing to make a difference can find a group of people willing or wanting to make a difference as well. I think if we're not your cup of tea, we hope you find it. And if we are your cup of tea, welcome aboard.
Okay. And on that note, I think that's a wrap. I'm going to put up the URL to join, become a pirate. You can see at uspirates.org/join. It's on the screen now. And yes, come and join us and see how you can help out and volunteer for the United States Pirate Party. And you've been watching Talk the Plank. This is the official Pirate Party podcast. And we will see you next week. And our guest next week is President-elect Vermin Supreme. Yes, that's right. So join us. I'm sure it will be glorious mayhem.
Might I add, unironically, he's the most honest man I've ever met in politics.
I spent 3 days with him, and he is an absolute wonder of the world. He is a national treasure, and I can't say enough good things about President-elect Vermin Supreme. All right.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, and goodbye, folks.